When the bud is out, we'll drink water not a drop before. Therefore, bear up in boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster? The folly of this island. They say there's but 5 upon this isle. We are but 3 of them. The other 5 be brains like others who be brains like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where would they be set else? You were a brave monster indeed if they be set in his tail.
My mad monster had drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam, ere I could recover the shore, 35 leagues off and on by this light. Thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
Your lieutenant if you list. He is no standard.
Will not run, Monsieur Monster.
Nor go neither, but to lie like dogs and yet see nothing neither.
Mooncalf, speak once in thy life if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy order? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He is not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster! I am encased to justle the constable. Thou watched fish, thou! Was there ever man, a coward that hath drunk as much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me! Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such natural!
Lo, lo, again! Bite him to death, thy privy!
Trinculo! Trinculo? Keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree. The poor monster's my subject, and will not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken to the suit I once made to thee?
Marry, will I? Kneel and repeat it. I shall stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, interrupt this monster one word further, and by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why? I said nothing.
Mum then, and no more.
Proceed. I say, by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If thy greatness will, revenge it on him. For I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How canst we?
What? How now shall this be compassed?
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, yea, my lord. I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayest knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest, thou canst not.
What a pie ninny this, thou scurvy patch! Give him blows, and take his bottle from him. For he shall not drink but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt this monster again. And by this hand I'll turn mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why? What did I? I said nothing. I'll go farther off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Do I so? Take thou that. As you like this, give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie. Out of your wits and hearing too. A pox on your bottle. This sack and drinking do. A murrain on your monster. The devil take your fingers.
Now forward with your tail. Prithee, stand further off.
I've beat him enough. After a little, I'll beat him too.
Stand farther.
Another one.
Come, proceed.
Good.
Why, 'tis a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. There, thou mayest brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. First, remember to possess his books, for without them he's never sought as I am, nor hath one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rudely as I. Burn but his books. He has brave utensils, or so he calls them, which when he has a whole house he'll deck withal. And most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a nonpareil. I never saw a woman but Sycorax like them, and she. But she is far surpasseth Sycorax, as greatest does least.
Is it so brave a lass?
Aye, Lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster! I'll kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen. Save our graces! And Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent!
Give me thy hand. Sorry I beat thee. But while thou livest, keep a good tongue in your head.
Mine.
Within this half hour.
Within this half hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honor.
This will I tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Will you troll the catch you taught me by while ere?
At thy request, monster, I will do reason. Any reason. Come, Trinculo, let us sing. Flout 'em and scout 'em and count 'em and
That's not the tune!
What does this say?
This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of nobody.
If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest a devil, take it as thou list.
Oh, forgive me my sins.
He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee.
Mercy upon us. Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Be not afeard. This isle is full of noises. Sweet sounds, line.
Sounds and sweet.
Sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears. Line.
And sometimes voices that.
And sometimes voices that I have awaked after long sleep will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open, ready to drop riches upon me, that when I waked, I'd cry to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for free.
When Prospero is destroyed!
That will be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let's follow and after do our work.
Lead, monster! I'll follow. Will come?
I'll follow Stefano.
By our Larkin, I can go no further, sir. Me old bones aches. Here's a maze trod indeed through forthrights and meanders. By your patience, I needs must rest me. O Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness. Sit down and rest.
Even here I will put off my hope and keep it no longer for my flatterer. He is drowned whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I'm right glad he's so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forego the purpose he resolved to effect. The next advantage we will take thoroughly. Let it be tonight, for now they are weary and oppressed with travel. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh. I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this, my good friend's heart? Marvelous sweet music. Give us, kind keepers, heavens, what were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns. That in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix's throne, and one phoenix at that hour reigning there. I'll believe both. And what else one credit come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travelers at home ne'er did lie, though fools at home condemn them.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for certes these are people of the island, though they are monstrous shape, yet note their manners are more gentle, kind, and of our human generation you shall find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well. For some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse, such shapes, such gesture, and such sound expressing, although they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Praise in departing.
They vanished strangely. Sebastian, the
No matter, since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs. Will it please you to taste what is here?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, who would believe that there are mountaineers do lap like bulls, whose throats are hanging at them wallets of flesh, or whose men whose heads stood in their breasts, which now we find each putter out 5 for 1 will bring us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, although my last, no matter, since I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the Duke, stand to and do as we.
Mine. You are 3 men of sin. Destiny which had to lower this. You are 3 men of sin. Destiny that had to instrument this lower world and what is in it. The never sufficed sea has caused to belch up you. And on this island where man doth not inhabit, you amongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad. And even with such like valor, men hang and drown from their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements of whom your swords are now tempered may as well wound the loud winds, or with bemocked at stabs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strength, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you 3 from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto sea which hath requited him and his innocent child for which foul deed, the powers delaying, not forgetting, and sets the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me ring perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways. Whose rats to guard you from, which here, in this most desolate isle, else falls upon your heads, is nothing but heart sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
no change.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel. A grace it had, devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated of what thou hast to say. So with good life, and observation strange, my meaner ministers their several kinds have done. these, mine enemies, are all knit up in their distractions. They are now in my power. Mine.
And in these fits.
And in these fits I leave them while I go visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
It is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the billows spoke and told me that the winds did sing it to me in the thunder. That deep and dreadful organ pipe did pronounce the name of Prosper. Mine.
It did base my trust.
It did base my trespass. Therefore my son in the ooze is bedded, and I'll seek him deeper than air plummet sounded, and with him there lie mudded.
But one fiend at a time. I'll fight their legions over. I'll be thy second.
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after, now begins to bite the spirits. I do beseech you that are of suppler joints. Follow them swiftly and hinder them from his X he may now provoke them to.
Follow, I pray you.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. But once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but a trials of my love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. So, here afore heaven I ratify this my rich gift. Oh, Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast of her, for you will find that she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
Then as my gift, and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter. But thou dost break her virgin not, before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered. No sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall, but barren hate. Sour-eyed disdain and discord shall but strew the union of your bed. With weeds so loathly you shall hate it both. Therefore take heed, as Hymen's lamp shall light you.
As I hope for fair issue, quiet days, and long life with such love as 'tis now, the murkiest end, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion our worst genius shall never melt mine honor into lust, to take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think or Phoebus' deeds are founded or night kept chain below.
Barely spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. Ariel! My industrious servant, Ariel!
What would my potent master? Here
Thou-
I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows the last trick did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go, bring the rabble over whom I give thee power here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the union of this line.
Upon the eyes of this young couple.
For I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently,
Aye, with a twink.
before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry, so, each one tripping on his toe, we'll be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel, do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I conceive.
Look thou, be true. Do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire and the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warn you, sir. The white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well. Quick, spirit, bring a corollary rather than want a spirit. Appear and pertly. No come. All eyes be silent.
Ceres, most bounteous lady, thy rich lees of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats, and peas, thy turfiest mountains where live nibbling sheep, and flat meads thatched with stove for them to keep, thy banks with peonied and twilit brims, which spongy April thy hesper trims, to make cold nymphs chaste crowns, and thy broom groves, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being last lorn, thy pole-clipped vineyard, and thy sea marge, sterile and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost err, the queen of the sky, whose watery arch and messenger am I, bids thee lead these, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and sport. Her peacock flies amain. Approach, rich Ceres, her to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger, never doth disobey the light of Jupiter. With thy saffron wings upon my flowers, diffusest honey drops and refreshing showers. And with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrubbed down. Rich scarf to my proud earth, why hath thy queen summoned me to this short grassy green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and some donation freely to a stage on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus of our son as thou dost now do now attend the queen. To see that pluck the means that dusky bits my daughter got. Her and her blinded boy's scandal's company I have forsworn.
Of her society be not afraid. I met her deity, cutting the clouds towards Paphos, and her son dove-drawn with her. Here thought they to have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid, whose vows are that no bedright shall be paid till Hymen's torch be lighted. But vain, Mars' hot minion is returned again. Her waspish-headed son has broke his arrows, swears he will shoot no more but play with sparrows and be a boy right out.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by her gate.
How does my young sisters go with me to bless this strain, that they may prosperous be and honored in their issue? Honor, which is marriage blessing, love continuance and increasing. Hourly joys be still upon me, Juno sings her blessings.
Earth's increase, poison plenty, barns and garners never empty. Vines with clustering bunches growing, plants with goodly burden bowing. Spring comes to you at the farthest in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you, Ceres' blessing, so is on you.
This is a most majestic vision and harmonious charmingly. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, yes. By my art, from their confines, I have called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. So rare a wondered father and a wise makes this place paradise.
Sweet now, silence. Juno and Ceres whisper something seriously. There's something else to do. Hush now and be mute, or else our spell is marred.
You nymphs called naiads of the wandering brooks, with your fetched crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels, and on this green land, answer your summons Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love, be not too late. You sunburned fickle men of August weary, come hither from the furrow and be merry. Make holiday, your bright straw hat to put on, and these fresh nymphs encounter everyone in country footing.
Forgotten foul conspiracy of that beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come. Well done! Avoid no more!
This is strange. Your father's in some passion that works him strongly.
Never to this day saw I him touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself. Yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a wreck behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My whole brain is troubled. Be you not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose. Return or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish your peace.
Come with a thought. I thank thee, Ariel. Come.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander. When I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it, but feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir. They were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smoked the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet, yet always bending towards their projects. Then I beat my tabor, at which like unbacked colts their ears pricked, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt music. So I charmed their ears that calf-like they my lord followed through tooth briars, sharp furzes, pricking gorse and thorns, which entered their frail shins. At last, I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins that the foul lake o'erstunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery in my house. Bring it hither for stale to catch these thieves.
I go.
A devil. A born devil on whose nature nurture can never stick. On whom my pains, humanely taken, all lost. Quite lost. And with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring! Come. Hang them on this line.
Pray you, tread softly that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We now are near his cell.
Monster, your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little more than play the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell a horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you!
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good my lord, give me thy favor still, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore,
Speak softly.
speak softly. All's hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles to the pool.
There's not only disgrace and dishonor in that, monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wetting. Yet this is your harmless fairy monster?
I'll fetch off my bottle. Have your ears for my labor.
Line.
Prithee, my king, be quiet.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. Line.
Seest thou here?
Seest thou here? This is the mouth of his cell. No noise, and enter. Do that good mischief which would make this island thine own forever, and I, thy Caliban, for I, thy footlicker.
Give me that hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stephano! Oh, worthy, oh, pure Stephano! Look at what wardrobe here is for thee!
Let it alone, thou fool, it is but trash.
Oh, monster, we know what belongs to a frippery. Oh, King Stephano!
Put off that gown, Tricula! By this hand! I'll have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
Line.
The dropsy.
The dropsy, drown this fool! Line.
What do you mean to joke.
What do you mean to tote us in such luggage? Let it alone and do the murder first. If he find us from toe to crown, he'll fill our skins with pinches, make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet! Mistress Line, is this not my jerkin? Now is the jerkin under the line. Now, Line. Jerkin, you are like to prove a bald. You are like to lose your hair and prove a bald jerkin.
Do. We steal by line and level and to like your grace.
Steal what line?
Oh, you're safe. I thank thee.
I thank thee for that jest. Steal by line and level is an excellent passive pay, which shall not go unrewarded while I'm king of this country. Steal by line and level is an excellent passive pay. Line.
There's another garment.
There's another garment for it.
Monster, come put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest.
I will have none of it. We shall lose our time and all be turned to barnacles or to apes with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, lady your fingers. Help to bear this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to! Carry this.
And this.
I and this. Hey! Mountain! Hey!
Silver! There goes Silver!
Fury there! Tyrant there! Hark! Hark! Go charge my goblins that they grind their joints with dry convulsions, shrunken their sinews with aged cramps, and more pinch-spotted make them than part or cat a mountain.
Hark! They roar.
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly after will all our labors end, and thou shalt have the art freedom. For a little follow and do me service.
Music, like change.
Now does my project gather to a head. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so when first I raised the tempest. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together, in the same fashion as you gave in charge. All prisoners, just as you left them, sir. In the lined grove which whether fence your cell, they cannot budge till your release. Your brother, the king, his brother, and yours abide, all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay, but chiefly him that you term, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo. His tears runs down his beards like winter drops from eaves of breeze. Your charm so strongly works them that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
Mine shall. Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, and shall not myself, one of their kind that relish all as sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? With their high wrongs I am struck to the quick. Yet with my nobler reason, against my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go, release them. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
You elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes, and groves, And you that on the sands with pritless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back. You demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make. And you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms, and rejoice to hear the solemn curfew. By whose aid, weak masters though you be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea with the azure vault set roaring war. The dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. Line. The strong-based promontory have I made shake. And with line.
And by the spurs plucked up.
And by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped and let them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure. And when I require some heavenly music, which even now I do, line.
To work mine end.
To work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet's sound, I'll drown my book. Solemn air, the best comforter to an unsettled fancy, cure thy brains, now useless boiled within thy skull. There stand, for you are a spell stopped. Line.
Holy Gonzalo.
Holy Gonzalo, honorable man, mine eyes, even sociable to the show of thine, fall fellowly drops. Charmed is all's apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, their set line, so their rising senses do begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearer reason. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver, and a loyal sir to him thou followest. I will pay thy graces home, both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Brother was a further in the act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood. You, brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, whom with Sebastian, whose inward pinches are most strong, would here have killed your king. I do forgive mine. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. Ariel, fetch me my hat and rapier myself. I will discase myself as if I was sometime Milan. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the bat's back I do fly after summer merrily. Merrily, merrily I shall live now under the blossom
That's my dainty area. We shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt be free. So, to the king's ship. There you'll find the mariners asleep under the hatches. The master and the boatswain, being awake, enforce them to this place. And presently, I prithee.
I drink the air before me, and return or else repulsed by speed.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance that a living prince does now speak to thee, I embrace thy body.
To thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Where thou beest, Prospero, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. But how should Prospero... Mine.
This must crave.
This must crave, and if this be at all, a most strange story. At thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
Line.
You do yet taste.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle that can... that line.
That will not let.
That will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all. But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I could hear line. Pluck his highness's frown and justify you traitors. This time I will tell no tales.
It speaks inside him.
No. You, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth. I do forgive thy rankest faults, all of them. And do require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation. How thou hast met us here, when 3 hours since were racked upon this shore, where I have lost, shot the point of this remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
I'm over it, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help. For the line.
Of whose soft grace.
Of whose soft grace, for the like loss, I have her sovereign and rest myself content.
You the like loss?
Line.
As great to me
As great to me as late. Line.
and supportable to make the dear loss have I means much.
And supportable to make the dear loss have I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you. For I have lost my daughter.
A daughter. Oh heavens, that they were living both in Naples, the king and queen there. That they were. I wish myself were murdered in that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
At this last tempest. To perceive these lords at this encounter do line.
So much admired.
So much admire that they devour their clear reason. Line.
And scarce think their eyes.
And scarce think their eyes do offices of truth. Their words are natural breath. Howsoever, you have been justled from your senses. Know for certain that I am Prospero. Line.
And
that very Duke of Milan that was... And that very Duke that was thrust from Milan on line.
Thrust forth of Milan, who most strangely upon this shore.
Thrust forth of Milan, who most strangely onto this shore, where the ship was wracked, to be the lord on it. But 'tis a chronicle for day by day. Not line.
A relation for.
Not a relation for a breakfast, nor befitting this first meeting. Line.
Welcome, sir. This cell.
Welcome, sir. This cell is my court, and here have I few attendants, and line.
Subjects, none abroad.
And subjects, none abroad. I pray you, look in, For this my dukedom, line.
My dukedom since you have
My dukedom since you have given me again. Line.
I will requite you with
I will requite you with as good a thing. Line. At least bring some. Line.
Bring forth a wonder to content you as much as me, my dukedom.
As Brit. What was the beginning?
I will requite you with as good a thing.
I will requite you with as good a thing to content you with me, my. Line.
As much as me.
As much as be my dukedom. That's.
Yep.
Oh, okay. As much as me, my dukedom.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dear serve, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this prove a vision of the island, wonder, son, shall I twice lose?
A most high miracle. Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now, all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise and say how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder. How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is, O brave new world that has such people in it.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your eldest acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often have I heard renowned, but never saw before. Of whom I have received a second life, and a second father this lady makes him to me.
I am hers. But oh, how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrances with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept, or should have spoke heir to this. Look down, you gods, and upon this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you that have chalked forth the way which has brought us hither.
I say, amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his issue should become kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, and set it down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis, and Ferdinand, her brother, found a wife where he himself was lost. Prospero his dukedom in a poor isle, and all of us ourselves when no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen. Oh, look, sir. Look, sir. I prophesied of a gallows or on land this fellow could not drown. Now, blasphemy, that sweareth grace overboard, not an oath on shore. Hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split, is now tight and and bravely rigged as we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither?
I did think, sir, I was well awake. I'd strive to tell you, we were dead asleep, and how we know not. Oh, clapped on our hatches, where but even now, we were strange in several noises, of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds are horrible. We were awaked, straightway at liberty, where we, in all our trim, firstly beheld our royal, good, and gallant ship, our master capering to eye her. Even as, fine.
On a trice, so please.
On a trice, so please you, sir. Even in a dream we are divided from them, and we are brought moping hither.
Was it well done?
Bravely, my diligence. Thou shalt be free.
This is a strange mazes air, Mensa. There is in this more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Line.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with the beating of the strangeness of this business. Line.
At picked leisure.
At picked leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve. Line.
resolve you, which to you shall seem
Sin will I'll resolve you, which to you shall seem probable. The line.
Of every these happened
accidents. Line.
till when be cheerful and think.
Till when be cheerful and think of each thing well. Line.
Come hither, spirit.
Come hither, spirits. Set Caliban and his companions free.
Untie.
Untie the spell. My gracious sir, there are yet some of your company, some few odd lads that you remember not.
Every man, ship for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself. For all is but fortune. Courageous, bully monster, courageous!
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
These be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What are these things, my lord Antonio? Will money buy them?
Very like. One of them is a plain fish. They're not marketable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, then say if they be true. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong she could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her power. These three have robbed me. And this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, had plotted with them to take my life. Two of these men you must know and own. This thing of darkness I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
And Trinculos, really ripe. Where should they find this grand liquor that hath gilded them? Say, how camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last, that I fear me will never out of my bones. I
Why?
shall not fear fly blowing.
Why? How now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I'm not Stefano, but a cramp.
You be king of the Isle, sirrah?
I should have been a sore one then.
This is as strange a thing as e'er I saw.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Line. Take with you your companions. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, Lord, that I will, and I will seek for grace hereafter. What a thrice doubled ass was I to take this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool.
Go to. Away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage. Where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you will take the rest for this one night. Part of it I'll waste. Line. With such discourse as, I now doubt, shall make it go quick away. The story of my life, and the happened accidents since we have come to this isle. Line.
And in the morn.
And in the morn, I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where, line, where I have hope to see our dear beloved solemnized. Line.
And
thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the air strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you, and present you, line,
And promise you calm seas.
and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious it shall catch your royal fleet far off. Ariel, chick, that is thy charge. Then be free to the elements. Oh, fare thou well.
Please you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Please you. Draw near. Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true, I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, for I have my dukedom got. Line.
And pardon the deceiver.
And pardon the deceiver. Dwell in this bare island by your spell. Line. But release me from your bands with the help of your good hands. Line.
Gentle breath of yours.
Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want art to enchant, spirits to enforce, art to enchant. My ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer. Line.
Which pierces so.
Which pierces so, mercy itself. Line.
Which pierces so that it assaults.
Which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all vaults. Line. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgence set me free.
Then Ariel comes out. Blackout.